Hey guys, what's going on? What is going on? Street Trading here with our weekly trade recap video. So we just flew by. We're looking at a 15-minute chart of SPY. Let's get into it. So obviously, as you can see, the boys just literally, the bulls owned the market last week. Pretty much, it started the week prior on Thursday, Friday, absorbing all that selling, and the previous week was pretty deep selling pressure. And then we had the nice reversal. The boys took it back up, cracked all-time highs. Clearly, Biden's 1.9 trillion relief stimulus package, whatever you want to call it, definitely brought some fuel to the upside and a lot of optimism in the markets. Obviously, that Thursday session was, that's when it cracked through all-time highs previously and printed its new ones. Obviously, sold off in the close. Had that gap down in Friday session, but as you can see, the boys brought it right back up. So not to all-time highs, but definitely above the previous all-time highs. So optimism is there. However, guys, in our opinion, the writing is on the wall, and we are not expecting just continued, like we saw into the second half of 2020, just all-time highs you can crush day in, day out. Not too sure. We definitely are looking for some serious selling pressure. You're going to have these weeks. Obviously last week was very solid to the upside. You can't deny that, and you cannot fight that, right? So when you see prices are pushing, get out of the way. I mean, there's plenty of isolated incidents to the downside where you can obviously just crush shorts, and we have plenty of those this week. We put up a few videos on them throughout the week session, but that being said, when the market is definitely behind you, and for example, all last week everything was pushing higher, so if you had any long positions on, it's not really nice to have the market, especially even the individual sector, behind you. So when it is, then it's just that much more kind of fuel, more power behind your move, right, behind your position. So doesn't always have to be the way. Of course, there's plenty of times the market's pushing higher and we're just crushing things to the downside. So it's not a one size fits all, guys. You do what works best for you, and that's the most important part out of everything. There's a million ways to, I'm not going to say million, but there's plenty of ways to extract capital from the markets. It does not matter how you do it. It's not a one size fits all business. Literally, if you want to trade standing on your fucking head, with one arm tied behind your back, doesn't matter, guys. It does not matter how you do it. Whatever works for you, right? It may work for you, and nobody else breathing on this fucking planet can do what you do. But if it's working for you, great. Who's to say you're doing it wrong? If you're taking money out of the market consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, and it's working for you, who gives a shit how you're doing it? Really, and make no mistake about it. Block out all those haters. Oh, you can't do this. You can't use this. Can't do that. Fuck that, man. Do whatever works for you. That's all we can tell you. Do whatever works for you. Find what works for you and perfect it. Anyway, kind of getting off on a tangent here. It was a solid week last week. Obviously, we had plenty of plays to the upside and to the downside. We're going to go over some of the trades we took. We've made a lot of trade lesson videos throughout the week, so some of those we have on this list here, we're just kind of breeze through those because we've already kind of talked those in depth. But some of the ones that we missed, that they're good lessons to be learned from it, we're going to go over, and let's just go over last week's session overall. So it was definitely a good session to the upside, but again, we're not ever convinced to the upside. We're heavy short sellers. That's what we do. That's what we do best. We'll definitely take some longs here when the opportunity presents itself, but we're predominantly short sellers. So let's get into what we're looking at for last week's session, how we ended up trading it, all the the stops we took. Got plenty of fucking stop outs, and some of the levels that we ended up taking. All right, guys, let's get into details.